What's going on, guys? Saturday night, just out here in the shop working on some new projects, getting some stuff queued up for the next month or so. Uh, had my grinder that I've had for probably 7 or 8 years now. Finally took a crap on me tonight. Um, as you can see, it's literally held together with tape. But yeah, I was working on a head and it started smoking. So yeah, RIP grinder. So I'm gonna have to hit Harbor Freight up, or if anybody can recommend a decent grinder for 50 or 60 bucks, I'd be all ears. But yeah, RIP grinder. She was a good one. But anyways, I got some projects queued up that I just wanted to share with everybody, and let you guys know what I'm thinking with each one of these, as well as maybe just a little bit about them. The first thing that I am looking at tonight is this big. It's like probably like a 2 or 2.5, maybe probably like a 2 pound ball peen hammer. I've got a couple on the bench that I use regularly, but this one was the biggest one that I've come across. Just picking through old tools and stuff like that. So yeah, it was in pretty decent shape, but like a lot of these tools that I pick up, it seems like the faces and the bits and everything that should be getting worn are always in good shape. It's always the stuff that shouldn't be getting worn out that's all screwed up. So this one has some damage to the eye. Nothing that I couldn't clean up with a file, but it always just perplexes me. Like, these people that have these tools, use the crap out of them, but never use them properly. So the faces on this hammer are in great shape. But yeah, the eye got worked over pretty good at some point. But yeah, I've got some white oak, and the other day I cut down a nice billet here. Say probably about maybe a 16, 17-inch billet that I'm going to make a handle for. I have a decent stock of NOS handles that I picked up a while ago, but I kind of want to. I don't know. I have a shitload of old handles, and I just use them sparingly because these axe heads, you can find an old axe head is pretty easy to pick up, but these old vintage handles and halves are tough to come by in good shape, let alone new old stock quality. And I came by a huge store of them a couple months back, actually, and I'm kind of holding on to them. So something like this that's going to just be for me, just a user, probably use sparingly anyway. I'm going to just make something, but I'm going to use the old handle to one of the old handles to model it off of, get that nice double taper. But yeah, this is white oak. It's been seasoning for probably about 2 years or so, so it should be good to go. So yeah, I'm excited about that one. I don't do a ton of hammer restorations, but yeah, when I do that, I'll probably do a video on carving the handle for it. So that's the first one. And then the rest are all axes. This one, I've had this for years. This is a, well, I don't know how old it is, actually. It's probably from the 50s. But it's a Kellyworks Rockaway pattern. Big, heavy one, too. It's actually stamped. I think it's either stamped 5 or 6 here on the pole. 5 or 6, can't tell. But it's every bit of 5.5 pounds. Nice Rockaway pattern. But the interesting thing on this one is it's got the old Charleston, West Virginia Kellyworks stamp on the one side, and then on the other side it's True Temper. So I'm not sure if this was a transition period between, when they were transitioning out of the Kellyworks Charleston, West Virginia, and, doing a double stamp. I'm not sure what the value is. I've asked around on the internet, and I've looked around, and, not a whole ton comes up, but I can't imagine that these are that common with the double stamping. But anyways, Rockaways in general are not super common. And this one's in pretty good shape again, but, it just seems like perfect bit, and, everything looks great on it except for somebody was banging on the pole. So there's a little bit of cleanup that might need to be done on the pole, and I'll be if I even do it, I'll be very careful not to dig into the stampings. It's minimal, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. And for this one, actually, I think because it's such a cool piece, I have a vintage 36. Actually, I'm not sure. I think it's a 36. Grab a tape here. No, it's like a 34-inch handle. It was probably 36 at one point, and somebody cut the tongue down. But nice, nice old handle. A little worn, but this is how I pulled it off. I couldn't even tell you what head I pulled off this. The tongue is in reasonable shape. A little bit of cracking up on here, but I don't think it'll be a major issue. I don't expect this axe to get heavy use. But yeah, fawn's foot in nice condition there, not all beat up. A nice slim tapered handle. Definitely going to need some oiling, but for the most part, pretty nice. And it slides right on there too. So seat that down a little bit better, get it fitted, get a nice chunky wedge in there, and that'll make for a nice, I think, a nice piece. And of course, if the handle doesn't work out, I can always make one for it, or like I said, I have a pretty decent stock of old handles that I can look through. But yeah, so that should be a good one. Looking forward to that one. Next up is an old knot clipper, and I think this is like a 3.5 or a 4 pound. Still need to clean it up. Actually, this is one that I started cleaning up when the grinder conked out on me, but cleaned it up enough to see that it's a knot clipper, which I believe that's a I want to say that's a man line, but this one's in great shape. Nobody's really beat up on the pole too much. The stamping is crisp. The bit is some toe wear, but overall the bit's in good shape. No pitting really, just surface rust. Still got some of the, I don't know if that's original red paint, but still got some of the paint on it from days long gone. But yeah, that's going to be a decent project there. Should clean up nice. And I have a blank that I'm going to use for this one. This is, I want to say this is 28 inches. No, it's 30 inches, but by the time I knock off the fawn's foot, the excess on the end, it'll be probably about 28, 29 inches. And this was 8/4 ash that I carved and, or pardon me, I used the bandsaw to carve out, and then we ripped it straight down the middle because it was 8/4, so now it's just an inch thick. And the previous one that I did, I actually laminated some hardwood for the palm swell. I think I'm going to start doing handles that way a lot more. I've seen a lot of guys on Axe Junkies and other places online doing those laminated palm swells, and I got to tell you, it makes the handle carving process so much easier. There's way less meat to take off, and the reality is, I mean, your palm swell only starts, what, 2-3 inches towards the tail end of the axe here. I mean, you're using 8/4 lumber, you're really shaving off a lot of waste. And not only is it a lot of wasted resources, it's just a lot of wasted time too. So, I've done a couple like that now with the laminated palm swells, and I think they look good. I haven't had any problems with them coming delaminated. I've made full-on handles that are laminated, and I've never had a problem. But yeah, that should be a good piece, 3.5 pound. on a 28, 29-inch handle. This one is, I would call that a Michigan pattern. And the previous one that I did for a friend of my parents. They bought a house, and my dad wanted to set them up with a nice wood chopping axe. So yeah, 3.5 pound Michigan on a 28, 29-inch handle turned out good. It was a very similar pattern to this, unmarked. But yeah, very similar Michigan, 3.5, 4 pound. And it was a nice swinging axe. I'm not a huge Michigan pattern fan, but I liked it enough actually to want to replicate it and, put it on my rack. Not that I need anymore, but one of the goals that I have as a collector is to kind of consolidate down everything that I have, and really try to consolidate down everything into maybe just a collection of 1 or 2 pieces per pattern. Because I'm just kind of starting to get to the point now where I have an excessive amount, which I know is blasphemous to say, but the reality is I have a small shop, and I don't have room to have axe racks and axe racks like I see a lot of these guys have. So I'm going to try to do, 1 or 2 of each pattern, couple different kind of double bits, maybe a couple different jerseys, couple different Michigans. I am currently in the on the hunt for a nice Maine pattern. I finally just put together a nice Connecticut, a really nice Connecticut actually, that maybe I'll show on a later date. A couple Daytons. I love boys axes, so I probably will always have 3 or 4 boys axes, but a few hatchets, things like that. I mean, I just picked up a Plumb National that I finished up a while back, so I've been wanting one of those for a while. You're still talking about a collection of 20 or 30 finished axes, which is, most people would think that's obsessive, but clearly they're not axe junkies like a lot of us are. So anyway, yeah, looking forward to this project. It'll be a good one. Get rid of that handle for now. This next one is a good one too. Nice Plumb Jetwing. I'm guessing probably from the 50s. So this was sort of Plumb's answer to the Kelly Perfect, or I don't know if the Kelly Perfect was the answer to the Plumb Jetwing. I'm not sure who came out with it first, but this is a real nice example of Plumb Jetwing. Nice crisp stamp. Got the nice phantom bevels. Nice full bit on this one. Somebody did work this over with a grinder, I think, at one point, because when I got this, it was rusted up, except for somebody hit the stamping with an angle grinder and hit the bit with an angle grinder just to put a crude edge on it, I guess, to sell it. But I got this on, I want to say I got it on Marketplace, off of a guy that, was just a collector of old things and flipping old tools and stuff like that. But I paid 10 or 15 bucks, something like that for it, which I'm happy to pay $10, $15 for a nice old, especially a beveled jersey like this. Now this is a lot of guys will see the rounded lugs and immediately say, "Oh, it's a Rockaway. It's a Rockaway." It's not a, there's some debate about that, but this is a jersey, just a round lug jersey. I don't think that I'm incorrect in saying this, but I've never seen a Plumb that has the pointed lugs like a Kelly does. All the Plumb jerseys I've ever come across have been rounded. Now, I've seen Collins jerseys that have had round lugs, and I've seen Collins that have had pointed lugs. But for the most part, Plumb, I've never seen one that has the pointed lugs. I could be totally wrong. I'm no expert, but I've seen a bunch of Plumb living in Pennsylvania, and I've never seen one that has the rounded, or that didn't have rounded. And the Rockaways are a lot more rare than the jerseys are, but I know they look kind of similar. But when you put a Rockaway and a jersey, can we see that? Yeah, we could see that. When we compare a Rockaway and a jersey, I think it's to a lot of axe guys, it's pretty obvious looking at it. I know to a person that doesn't really know axes, they go, "Oh yeah, that's a similar axe." But there's definitely some, I don't know, convexness to the beard of a Rockaway, and for sure they're always more narrow, definitely more narrow through the eye. And I've always noticed that they're usually heavier. They always seem to be a little bit heavier, and they typically have the rounded eye. Although, what is it? The McKinnons, I think that's what they are. I've never personally owned one. I've seen some. Friends have had some. Those typically have the pointed lugs. So, but yeah, I mean, to my eye, the only similarities I see in these patterns are the fact that they both have round lugs. But yeah, a lot of guys, especially a lot of resellers on eBay, I've noticed a lot of resellers try to get a premium price for a jersey pattern because it has the round lugs, and I see that they'll put it on their ad as a Rockaway, and I don't know if it's just a mistake or that they're being disingenuous and just trying to get a few more bucks out of a head because it's a Rockaway. But yeah, this is a jersey. Nice one too. This one, it'll probably get a hand carved handle, and I'll probably do a short one on this. It's a I'm assuming it's a 3.5 pound. Let's see. I don't see a weight stamp on it anywhere. Admittedly, I haven't really gone to town with the cut brush on this one yet, though. But if I had to guess, I would say it's 3.5, 3.25, something like that. Got a little toe wear. They all usually do, but that should even right out after a good sharpening. So that'll be a nice project for down the line. One more look at that. And then, oh, nope. That's not this one. I've had this one for a while too. This is nice old Dunlap, Michigan pattern boys axe. And I have actually done one of these years ago. I gave to a buddy who he gifted it to his son, I believe, for a Christmas present. Same head. Put it on a nice house-handled octagonalized 28-inch haft, and it was a beautiful axe. It really turned out well. It's one of those things where like you put together a really, really nice axe, and it's tough to give it away. But this one, again, I would probably hand carve a haft for it. I kind of have given up on, looking in hardware stores and for these axe handles, because anymore, aside from the premium stuff that you can get online for, $40, $50, $60 for a haft, I have not had great success with like the OP links and anything like that that you could find in like an Ace Hardware anymore. If I am in a hardware store, I usually will check out to see if they have anything, but I've been less and less impressed with the quality of these axe handles that are coming out these days. But this will be a nice piece. I think at one point I had hit the mushrooming on the head with a file, but a beautifully deep stamp in that Dunlap. And I've had a couple different Dunlops over the years, and they've all been good steel. I don't know who was making axes for Dunlop. I don't think that they were forging their own axes. If I had to venture a guess, I would say probably Collins or Mann. I'm not exactly sure, but this is a nice head. It's got that nice high center line. Try to get the light on it, but you could see that really, really nice that you see on these old axes, that really nice center line. Get the light to reflect off of it. It's a beauty. So yeah, that'll be a good one. And then finally, I have this double bit, Kelly Perfect, True Temper, Michigan double bit. This is a full-size double bit. This is a Actually, it's stamped right there, 3.2. So 3.5 pound double bit. And this one is in really nice shape. Really, really nice shape. I've done no cleanup to this whatsoever. Not a single bit of cleanup to this. I've had this for a while. This was a gift from a friend of mine. I was really grateful to have this. But this is a nice example of a True Temper Kelly Perfect. Really nice, deep beveling, good crisp stamp. And this will be the first beveled double bit axe I've ever hung. I've hung countless double bits, but never a beveled one. I've never had a beveled one. And that was something that I definitely wanted to add to the collection. I have a True Temper Kelly Perfect jersey pattern that's also in remarkably good shape. As a matter of fact, it still has the stamping on the pole, the 3.2 stamping on the pole, which from my understanding is very rare to find that, one with the pole stamping still intact. But yeah, this is going to get a vintage haft that I have to take off of another double bit. Actually, might as well just grab it. Yeah, this is, I'm not even sure. Maybe a Craftsman, something like that. This is an old Craftsman, but it's got a nice slim 36-inch handle. Nice slim tapered handle in pretty good shape. And you can see there's a bunch of stuff jammed in the eye there. But it should come out pretty easy. I mean, I've usually had pretty good success when I see a bunch of hardware, a bunch of nails and screws and everything like that in an eye. That usually means that it's pretty loose and it'll come out pretty good. But this handle is, despite being a little dry, the tongue is in good shape. There's really no overstriking or anything like that. It should work down nicely. I'll just take a spoke shave to it and work it down a little bit. Get this. I want to say that's a Craftsman. Whatever it is, it's a nice old head. But I think this Kelly Perfect will be a lot nicer on this handle than whatever this is. But yeah, this will be really nice once it's done. And, hopefully I'll get a chance to take you guys along on that one too. As much as I'm making, making handles these days, it's always nice too to put a old handle back into one of these heads and get something that's kind of, a little bit more period correct. And I'm one of these guys that, like, even if I cut a head off of a handle, even if the handle is really not savable, I always save the end of the handle because I like to use them as templates, for my axe billets. I'm not the best artist in the world by any means, so it's difficult for me to like freehand a pattern onto a template. So I will sit down with a couple different axe handles a lot of times and make an amalgamation sort of, and it seemed to work out pretty well for me. I've probably carved a good 20-25 handles now at this point, and they've all turned out pretty well in my opinion. There's a lot of guys out there that are doing a lot nicer work than me, but for the tools that I have and the shop that I have and my skill level, I think they're coming out pretty good, and I enjoy making them, and that's what's important. But anyways, I just wanted to make a quick video tonight, just to keep pushing some content out there. I want to try to make this maybe a every other week kind of thing. So yeah, if you guys enjoy it and you want to comment and let me know what project you'd like to see done next, I can certainly take some requests. If anybody has anything that they want to add or any questions that they want to ask, I'm always happy to give whatever knowledge that I have, pass it along, because I've certainly, basically everything that I've learned throughout the years. I've learned on a couple different places, mostly Bushcraft USA. They have a really big axe community I think is underrated. A little bit from Axe Junkies, and a lot from just stuff that my father has taught me over the years, and other friends in the, I was going to say in the business, but more so in the hobby. But anyways, guys, yeah, thanks for hanging out tonight. And I appreciate everybody watching, and I will see you guys soon. Take care.